Alright guys, welcome back to another quick start guide. It's been a long time since we've done one of these. I've been trying to get this guide done by June, and this game is so complex that it's taken me some time, but we're finally going to do it. We're going to do the quick start guide to STELLAVANITY. I know you guys have been asking for this. Just bear with me here, and we'll get you started. The idea behind the quick start guide is just to get you in the game, get you playing, get you understanding the mechanics. We're not going to go super deep into the scoring. We're not going to go super deep into specific level strats and boss strats. This game doesn't really need that shit anyways. You can dodge. You can, you can dodge and shoot. It's actually, I mean, it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, bullet hell shmup because of the different options that you have while you're playing. The problem is those options are hard to understand because the developer has not done a great job with UI and other things, but everything is in there. It just sort of needs a guide. So I'm going to try to provide you guys with the guide to STELLAVANITY. So without further ado, quick start guide's got to be quick. Can't wait. Let's get in there. All right. First of all, graphics. Yes, that's right. Actually, before graphics, I'll link the game in the description. You can buy the game off of DL's site. So that's the first thing. Get the game. Great. You have the game. This game has an incredible amount of graphics customization, and I'm just putting my settings up there for you. I don't like multiple bullet colors or things like that, so what you'll see in a lot of my gameplay is all the bullets are going to be red. The coins, I like them to be a little more transparent, a lot less visible, so I can see the bullets. I'm like very much into, I need to understand where the hazards are and where my hitbox is, first and foremost. So those are my settings. Do whatever you guys want. Make sure your FPS control mode is by timer and 60 frames per second, because otherwise the game might run too fast or too slow. Otherwise, this is simple. Screenshot that. Let's move on. Controls. Alright, already starts to get complicated. So, STELLAVANITY is your basic bullet hell shmup. So you've got shoot, and you've got slow, which you can sort of use as a laser, sort of cave style, right? You got your rapid shot and your focus shot. That's what the shoot mode, laser, and full auto is. So I just keep it like that because I play a lot of cave shmups. It's very simple, very easy for me. I would definitely recommend that. The shift mode, I would recommend going to 2 buttons because there are 2 kinds of shifts. There is delayed shift and ethereal shift. I'll just be calling it ether shift, but delay shift, ether shift. The way it's set up is you basically, I think you have to like hold one or tap one. No, we're not going to play hold the whatever controls. We're not going to play that shit. So, separate those buttons into 2 buttons because those are 2 different mechanics that have 2 different meters that are completely different. There's really no reason for them to be the same button. So, separate those. Set that to 2 buttons. Default assault mode. Assault for, and we're going to be only talking about Type S in this guide. I don't give a shit about Type C, and I'll explain that later. But I think Type S is STELLAVANITY. You can't spell STELLAVANITY without S, can you? It's not CATELLAVANITY. Get the fuck out of here with all that. So, in Type S, Assault is this beam, this homing beam that just shoots out and blasts whoever. And you don't have to keep it on auto. You do not have to worry about it. It'll just do it on its own. It'll be killing shit on its own. Pretend like it really doesn't exist. Stick it to auto. Forget about it. That also means that button no longer exists. You don't need to worry about that button. You don't need to bind it. Put it on, I don't know, the furthest button away, because you're not going to use it. So you're going to use laser, full auto, which are the 2 that I use. You don't need to worry about slow because laser is slow. So you actually don't need to worry about that button. But it's really up to you on how you do laser, full auto, and slow. It's like dealer's choice. You'll have blade. You'll have bomb. You'll have delayed shift and ether shift. Those are going to be all your controls. I know it's a lot of controls. I'm going to go through all of them. Default difficulty and character. It's a really good quality of life thing. I would change the default character to Azerlet Type S because that's what this guide's going to be talking about. That's what you should be playing. All the other shit, different guide, different person, go somewhere else. You ain't going to get that here. Default difficulty, your choice. Easy, normal, arcade are all very approachable difficulties. Even arcade, I would say, is like probably around the lines of like maybe a Dodonpachi clear, 1-all or something. Like that's not super ultra hard, especially if you go through the guide and we go through all this shit and I explain this shit to you, you ain't gonna find it that hard. So that's controls, alright? Deep breath. You're almost done. You're almost done. So you basically set the game up, right? This guide, what I would recommend is rule mode strict. So There's practice, story mode, rule mode. There's all this kind of stuff in STELLAVANITY that's like, there's items, there's blah, 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 blah. No. We are here to play arcade shmups, and that's what I'll provide to you. Rule mode strict, that's what you need to pick. Forget the shop, forget the story mode, forget the other rule mode, different guide, forget all that. Rule mode strict, auto guard on. You want that. You need auto guard to be on. I'll explain why later, but it's basically an auto bomb. It takes up only one of your bombs. So either you pop the bomb, regular shmup style, you get this big laser, or you get hit by a bullet and it auto bombs. You want that, keep that shit on. Then, as you go through the game, you'll be able to select, I think between 2 and 3, and then 4 and 5 as far as areas. So you can do like 1, 3, 5, or you could do like 2, 4, 6, or I think it goes 2, 4, 5, or maybe it's, yeah, no, it's 2, 4, 6, or something like that. I don't know. Look, all I'm saying is you're doing 1, 3, 5. You're going to do 1, you're going to do 3, you're going to do 5. Just do it. Just do it. Listen to me. It's a quick start guide, okay? We're not over here to explain every single thing. Those are the right stages for a quick and easy clear. You can explore the others on your own time. Perfect. Now, you get into the game. You see all of this shit. Disregard, like, all of it. All those meters to the left, worthless. Don't care, disregard them. Accessories, we're not using them. Disregard them. See where it says strict rule mode? That means that the rank is not going to change. And auto guard is on, and that tells you the difficulty you're on. Great. Cool. It's not information, but it's there. It's nice. Certification, blah, blah, blah. Disregard all of that shit. Forget it. Okay? We're not going to worry about any of that. In fact, we're going to boil it down to the essentials. The essentials on the screen, and I just blacked out everything else. So this is the same screen. It's just without the noise. Okay? Without the bullshit. That blue meter up top, that's your delayed shift meter. Those little pink do-dongies, those are your lives. At the bottom left, you have the green little shurikens or whatever, little splashies, little amoebas. Those are your bombs. The orange meter at the bottom left is your ether shift meter. Remember we talked about there's delayed shift and ether shift. And then the other one is your blade meter. Okay? Let's go through these mechanics really quick. Delayed shift, well, let's start with lives are lives. When you lose all your bombs and you don't have any bombs left, that means there's no auto bomb left. You get hit one more time, you lose lives, but then you get your bombs back. Well, you get like I think 3 bombs back. So that's lives. Bombs are bombs. You'll see bomb containers throughout the game. They're what you think they are. There's auto bombs and there's regular bombs. Regular bombs do more damage. Auto bombs give you this like invincible shield around your ship so you can sort of like, I got hit, like do other things. Blade is a big slash, but requires a meter to use. There's different levels of blade, but don't worry so much about it. I don't really want you to use blade to slash things yet. Like, you can play around with it, but I'll explain why, like, blade, I think you want to save your blade for the moments where you can warp in and do, like, the mid enemy blade stuff. But, if you were to use your blade, that's the meter. You gotta have meter to use blade. If you don't have meter, you hit the blade button, you're gonna nothing's gonna happen. So just keep that in mind, okay? Delayed shift. Let's talk about delayed shift specifically. Delayed shift is interesting. You can activate it when the meter is blue. And what happens with delayed shift is that the game becomes more difficult. Like, there's more bullets, but when you kill enemies, you do a bullet cancel. So it's like, there's more bullets, but also there's more bullet cancels to balance that out. As you're doing all of that, you're gathering, as those bullets are canceling, you're gathering a counter, like you're charging up this big counter, and it'll show you at the bottom right of the corner screen what kind of counter you have. Again, don't worry about that so much. Just tap delayed shift, the game gets harder, you kill things. As that meter starts ticking down, you get a counter. And it's as long as there's 3 levels, counter 1, 2, and 3. But as long as you popped a nice big delayed shift, you're going to get level 3. Once that meter gets to the bottom, you get a big screen cancel, whoosh, and you get big points for that. Now, you can cancel it early if you want. If you cancel it early, I think you only get some of it back, or maybe you get a very little bit of meter back, but not much. I think you get meter back anyways after you cancel a delayed shift, because when you cancel it, if you get coins, you get meter back. But Let me show you what delayed shift actually looks like in the game, so you can see what's actually happening here. So let's pop up our little thing here. Okay, this is just some gameplay. Let's go over here. Let's pause this. Let's go over here and let me show you. So this is the screen before delayed shift, right? And so this is me here, and you guys see my mouse, right? Yeah. Okay, this is me here, and here is some enemies shooting some bullets. So I'm gonna start. I pop delayed shift right there. So now you see the blue meter is going down. But now, look at those same enemies. They are firing all kinds of crazy patterns. Look at that. But if I kill them, the patterns go away. Sweet. Blue meter's going down. Lots more bullets. Way more bullets. But, again, if you kill the enemies, the patterns go away. Oh, what just happened right there? Okay, what happened right there is my blue meter ran out, right? Like I'm telling you guys. And you can see, you can barely see at the bottom right, you can see where it says counter level 2. As long as it's 2 or 3, you'll get a full screen cancel. But as soon as this blue meter goes down, whoosh, big old screen cancel. So, I'll leave it up to you on when to use delayed shift, right? But it's, and you see it's the pink bar is going back up. It's pink, so it's not ready for delay shift yet. As soon as it becomes blue, you'll be ready to do another delay shift. I think I got a mid-boss coming up. And, you know, the meter's going up by registering hits on enemies, so as you go, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and it's still pink, and eventually it will become blue. Okay, before we get on to this becoming blue, what you heard right there, well, you barely probably heard it because I have the sound down, and we'll get to that in a second. So you can see that my blade is blue, and you can see over here I have a lock on a mid enemy. There's a beep that comes up in your ear, and we'll talk about that later. The beep indicates you can do this thing called like a blade. I call it like a blade raid, but it's not really a raid. I think technically a raid is only on a boss, but blade is basically, it's like this, you'll dash in for free, in invulnerable frames, all that stuff, and you'll do this big blade attack on the enemy. Okay, I wonder if I do it here. I may or may not here. Yeah, did you see that? You guys see that? Okay, let me go back one more, because I want you guys to hear the beep. Boom, boom. And because you're blading, it takes meter, right? Let me turn it up so you can hear the beep. Boom. And that enemy happened to be a screen cancel enemy, so you're getting a screen cancel there, but doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a screen cancel. That just happened to be one of those crystals from Futari that are a screen cancel. So I want you guys to save your blade for that. From a survival perspective, it's so good, and you have to understand to get that beep and go in and blade stuff, because when you go in and blade stuff, it's going to, you know, you have invulnerable frames, you come in, slash, it gives you, like, it can get you out of bad patterns, too. But that's kind of how Blade works. So now we got blue meter. So that blue meter at the top means that we can delay shift if I wanted to. I might pop it here, I might not. Okay, there, I popped it. See, I popped it. You see what happened? All the bullets got crazy, right? That's how delay shift works. Okay? I think it gives you power, too. Like, delay shift gives you, like, really fast auto assault. So you guys can see all the little lasers coming out of my ship. That's that auto assault we talked about earlier. I'll show it to you. Like, you can barely see them. They're like flying off the hinges, but you can see them. See these little lasers coming off the ship and just firing at stuff. That's the auto assault. I think you get auto assault when you're doing delay shift, even if you don't have it on, but we have it on, so whatever, you know. So that is how delay shift works. Let's go back to our essentials. That's delay shift. We talked about the bomb. We talked about the blade. We haven't talked about ethereal shift. Ethereal shift, basically, you pop it, and it allows you to, it's this orange meter, and it'll start going down just like your delay shift, and it allows you to get unlimited blade. Like, you can use blade without spending any blade bar at all. Which can be really useful for scoring because, and actually when you're in ether shift and you're blading stuff, you get this tiny bullet cancel. So when you see like high score players, they'll probably get the ether shift, they'll go to the top, they'll hit ether shift, they'll be blading shit, boom, 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 boom. It's very risky, but it's big score. And Blade is really strong. So that's one way to get Blade. I don't want you guys to use it that way. Honestly, the way I would use Ether Shift, there's another way to use Ether Shift. There's a couple different ways to use Ether Shift. But one of the ways in which to use Ether Shift, okay, Ethereal Shift, the orange gauge, is, no, these are examples for something else. Do I even have an Ether Shift example? It's fine. I'll do one, I'm sure. Like here on this boss or something. Basically the way Ether Shift works. Let's see, did I do it there? Or did I save it up? I must have done it on the previous boss. Or on the previous pattern. So the way Ether Shift works on bosses specifically is... Okay, see I popped it there. You see my orange gauge going down now? So the way it works is if you're in Ether Shift and your orange gauge is going down and you reach the end of a boss phase, you will go into this what's called overkill, right? You'll get this sound effect. You hear that alarm bell? That alarm bell sound effect. And what'll happen is this phase will now last forever. By forever, I mean until the orange bar is down. It'll last until this orange bar depletes, and this is like a boss overkill. And why would you do this? Why would you want the boss phase to last forever? Hey, Octane, that sounds like a stupid idea for survival. Well, actually, you can't get hurt. You get to dodge this boss thing for free for as long as you want. If you get hit during this, it just cancels the bar, and you're fine. So I like to use Ether Shift this way, because one, it gives you lots of score. Two, it's just really fun. Like, to just dodge a boss pattern with no actual, like, survival consequences. Like, I think that's really cool. It's, like, one of the reasons why I love this as a bullet hell game is that they don't always hit you upside the head with consequences. Like, they let you make decisions. So here, I'm using it. So I'm just going to chill here and dodge this for a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Whatever. Uh-oh. I got hit. Okay, so what? So freaking what, dude? I got my coins back. I didn't get hurt. I didn't lose anything. You don't lose bombs or anything like that at the end of that. And so, yeah, that's kind of how, like, bosses work a little differently for Ether Shift. So I would use Ether Shift specifically at the end of a boss pattern, especially when you know how to dodge. You can sit there, farm that shit, milk that shit, get some extra points. It's, like, one really good way to use Ether Shift. Otherwise, I mean, you can use it. I don't really... I think for survival, Ether Shift isn't that important. Delayed Shift is a little bit more interesting and will get you more interesting results in certain times. You can also delay shift during bosses, and it'll make the boss patterns harder. You'll have more power, but it'll make the boss patterns harder. I would not recommend delay shifting in bosses. Like, unless you really know what you're doing, I wouldn't do that. Like, you can play around with these mechanics. Like, now I'm explaining to you how they work. You can play around with them and figure them out, right? So that's some of the boss-specific mechanics. Let's do a pop quiz. Who's ready for a pop quiz? Aw, yeah. Pop quiz time. Let's play What Does This Beep Mean? You guys ready? You guys ready? You guys ready to play What Does This Beep Mean? All right, I'm gonna throw one at you. Make it a little quiet. What do you think that? What's that beep? That's right. That's B. Blade lock. All right. What's this? All right. Okay. What's this beep? That's right. That's Ether Overkill activated. We just talked about that for the boss. So that's F, Ether Overkill activated. All right, let's do a different one. This one's kind of hard to hear. Ding, ding, ding. You hear the bell? Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. That's something we actually haven't talked about yet. But basically, at the end of a phase, when you have the end of a boss phase and you have... Remember we talked about the blade kills? So at the end of a boss phase... Let me show this to you guys, actually. At the end of a boss phase, you can just kill off the boss by blading them as long as you have blade. So just like a mid enemy, just like we talked about... Let's see if I do it here. I do them all. Okay, here's a good example of it. Here you go. So you guys hear the ring, and then we go straight into the, boom. So as soon as you hear that ding, straight into the boss finish. Boom, boom. So basically, it allows you just to blade finish the boss, and that's exactly what you need to be doing when you get a chance to do that. So, blade boss kill ready. Listen to it again. Amazing. All right, what else we got? What's this? That's delayed shift ready. What's this? That's ether shift ready. Honestly, let's go through them one more time in order. Auto assault. It's a little beeps. Disregard them. Disregard these beeps. These are not important. Blade locked on mid. That's extremely important. You definitely want that. Blade boss kill ready. Again, important. When you hear that and you're in the middle of a big old boss pattern, you can just slash up there and grab it. Let's see. Delayed shift ready. Okay, ether. Sorry, that's ether shift ready. Hold up. That's ether shift. That's delayed shift. They're very, very similar. I would just look at my meters. Those are really hard to understand. I wouldn't worry about those. I would make sure you get your blade lock and your blade boss kill sound effects in your head. How about the auto bomb going off? I mean, it's good to know, right? If you're not looking at your character, you hear that sound, oh, my auto bomb went off. That's super, super important. Okay. So, let's move on. That was like the worst quiz ever. Let's move on and talk about the secret extends and the glitch. So there are two scoring extends in the game, and there are two secret extends in the game. The first secret extend is right here, where you'll go and it's in stage 7. Where you'll be going back first left, then right, and destroying these green orbs. Once you destroy, you have to make sure you kill them. That's all it is. You just have to make sure you kill them. No, none of this like, oh, can't use bomb, blah, 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 blah. Just kill them. My understanding is that you just have to kill them. Or can you not use bomb? I don't know. I don't remember. Just kill these green orbs, and after you kill the second one, there. I just use that as an example of my blade kill. But after you kill the second one, you will see here, that's an extend item, this little heart. And so you'll get an extend item, right? The second extend is in, so that's in stage 7. The second extend is actually earlier in stage 5. So I probably should have talked about that one first. This one's just a little more complicated, though. It's throughout this stage, you will see these things, you see these towers on my left that I'm slashing all the enemies. You got to kill all the little baby enemies, and you got to destroy the tower. The turrets don't matter, but these towers matter. So you got to be able to go in through and kill all the little baby enemies, and then destroy the big tower. I think people use Blade to do this, because Blade can kind of be pretty good, but honestly, I don't think it's like particularly hard. You just have to pay attention and make sure you use some, so like there's a tower on the right, bop, 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 killed it, easy, boom, no problem. So there's a bunch of these little towers that you got to kill. We're going to go through all of them. So let's go through that one too. Make sure, so you have to kill all the little babies before you can kill the tower. You got this little mid guy. I'm slashing him. You getting the beep beeps all day. All right. Boom. That one's kind of off screen. Did you see that one? Do you see where that one was? So that's the thing. It's like that's where I find this blade to be so useful, because you can just look, I'm literally off screen. I went off screen to kill that one, but the blade warped me off there because it beeped, and it just, like I said, it's invincible, right? It warps you to wherever like that button is basically like a bomb, you know. So kill all of these guys, boom. Then I think you get to the mid boss. Whatever, screw the mid boss. We don't care about the mid boss. Move on past the mid boss. The mid-boss gives you some bombs. Move on past the mid-boss. You get into another sort of structure in the level. And now you have to destroy the floors. Yeah, that. You see what I just did right there? You have to kill all the little guys and then destroy the floor. Boom. And so you got to kill all of these guys. And it's just the same thing. Up, up, up. There's not too many more left, but you got to kill all of them. Then, here's what happens. Okay, the way the glitch works. The extend glitch works when you are on top of where the game is specifically going to spawn that heart container. And when you are on top of the heart container, when it appears, you get 2. It freaks out, and instead of giving you 1 extend, it gives you 2 extends. So it's hard to be right on top. I don't even know where it is for the stage 7. Apparently, it's wherever we were talking about, like in stage 7. But I don't even know where it is. I know exactly where it is in this stage, in stage 5. So what you want to do is, when you get towards the end, and you're going to have to memorize this, and you're going to have to practice it, but once you get to the end of this stage, take an auto bomb. You see what I just did? I took an auto bomb. And that's because if you use a regular bomb, and this is why I said, remember I said earlier, auto bombs are clutch cargo, like hella crucial. That is because if you have a regular bomb and you regular bomb there, you will kill the tower. The extend will appear in front of you, not while you're on top, but while you're not on top, because the bombs kill things, and you won't get this glitch. So you want to use the auto bomb for this. And so use auto bomb, and then you see right here, right on top, you want to make sure you are right on top. I guess you could do it with the bomb. You just have to make sure you're right on top. And bombs slow your movement down. But you see this little circle? You want to be inside the circle when you kill this very last tower. You want your hitbox to be inside this circle. Stay in there. Stay in there. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. But, stay in there. Yeah, I'm going back down. I'm going back in. You want to be in there when it pops. So you see what happened? Look at my extends. 2, 4. Right up here. 2, 4. You won't even see the item. It'll just go straight from 2 to 4. And that's how you do the extend duplication glitch. Okay? And that's it. And then you have 1 extra extend, which is very useful, right? And then you get scoring extends. There's 2 scoring extends. So you could have a total of, I think you start the game off with 2, a total of 6 lives up there in that bar. And that's it. That's STELLAVANITY Type S. I know that was a long one. I know it wasn't as quick as you wanted a quick start guide to be. I'm sorry. That's the best I could do to break everything down and keep it simple. The only other tip I have is, apparently the last boss of this game has a bomb shield. So you can see I bombed there and nothing happened. So instead of doing a regular bomb, just do your auto bombs. Do your auto bombs. Because regular bombs don't hurt the very, very, very final boss of the game, which I didn't know, obviously, and I still cleared, so whatever, who really cares? But yeah, use auto bombs on that one, which is another reason why auto bombs are important, because they're useful in that context. They're not that useful. Regular bombs are not that useful against the final boss of the game. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. STELLAVANITY Type S, that's the way to go. Start on easy, go normal, go arcade. I tried to make it short. I tried. I feel like I failed, but I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let me know if you want more quick start guides, if these are worthwhile and you guys like them, and let me know what game you want me to do them for. Well, yeah, so catch you guys next time. Peace.